Hello everybody, good afternoon. It's about 12:45 in the afternoon here on the 12th of January 2023. It is, what is today? Today's Thursday? Today is Thursday. It's a happy day. It's a great day. We've got lots of big moves in the market, which I talked about 2 days ago. I'm going to, have a little bit of a discussion here based on the price action. Before I get into all of this, as you all know, this is not financial advice, and I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, and I'm just giving my opinion on the market. So we're going to take a look at Bitcoin today. So if you're not a crypto snob, then you are not going to enjoy this analysis. So let's go ahead and move on into the chart. So I'm going to go to my higher time frame here. I'm on a 1 hour at the moment, but I'm going to kind of zoom out to a 4 hour here, just to kind of take a look at my my projections that I previously had, to complete this move down. And actually, what I might actually do is move to a 12 hour here, just to take a better look at this. We've been looking at this for quite some time, and I made a comment 2 days ago that we were basically up against some pretty significant resistance. But I also talked about the dueling 618s, and I said whatever we do to push through, it's going to be a significant move, right? So I still believe that that was true, right? Obviously, we had a significant move yesterday. We had a significant move just in the last 5-10 minutes. We've had big moves going into here in the most recent time. So, again, looking at these from the lows back here in December 2018, we've got a nice 5-wave structure up, and even down here, you can count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a nice subdivided wave 3, and then we go into wave 4, we finish wave 5, then we have kind of a complex correction. We have an A, B, C, some people put the A here, you have an expanded flat, whatever it may be, we have a nice completed correction here going down into wave 2. Right? So then, of course, from there, you've got a nice little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 1, ABC 2. Then we got a nice subdivision here into wave 3, which comes in way of a little 1, 2, a big 3, 4, and then an extension into the third, going down into wave 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete wave 3. And then a nice little ABC down here into wave 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete this wave 5. When you have a 5-wave structure, you typically correct the entire move. All right. And I'm going to keep this real short. I'm only going to go for about another 5 or 10 minutes max on this, because it's really pretty clear. What a lot of people are looking at this is an A, a B, and then a C. Well, when I look at this, even if that was the case, this move, it really doesn't look complete yet. So I had a discussion 2 days ago. You can go back and watch the video if you would like. Right, we are at some pretty significant resistance at the moment. Right, we have some significant resistance at the moment. But what I want to focus on is what I was discussing 2 days ago was this dominant pivot low here, that dominant pivot high right here, and then the fact that we had significant support here at the 618. And in that video, I said we tried to push down and we got bought up. We tried to push down. We got bought up. So those are some signs that we've got some support there. Then on the flip side, I said that, at the time, I said it's probably pretty likely that we take this dominant pivot high and this dominant pivot low, and I'm just going to zoom in just a little bit more, just so that I tag the low here, and that's going to be about right there. I said at the time, we had this move up here, and we were starting to come back, and I said chances are pretty good we're going to test that 618. Okay, so let's just move this on over. What we saw very little resistance right here, and it was a quick move up past that, and basically to create a double top right here. And then we had a little bit of consolidation. We had some of the stuff going on at 8:30 this morning Eastern time, and then just in the last 15-20 minutes or so, we had a nice big move up here to a potential for a wave 4 on an ending diagonal. Now, I'm super bullish on crypto. I'm not going to change my bias that we're going to go back down to 14,000, but that is not changing the fact that I've been taking long positions. I took a short on OP. I got stopped out on that. Things looked pretty strong, so I have been going long on basically everything else. So now that we're up here, let's just go ahead and try and measure a few things and see if we get some alignment on where we have landed so far. So we're going to take this dominant pivot low here. We're going to go to this dominant pivot high up here, and we're going to take this pullback. Okay. So again, this shouldn't be new to you. This should be, basically, standard operating procedure. We're going to be taking a look at the 618, which we had a little bit of resistance, right? But we pushed through it. And then we've got the 100 that's sitting up here at about 19,340. So, again, I think it's kind of dangerous going short because I think there are a lot of people trying to short this move that we have just had. So I'd be very careful. Looking at the indicator on the hourly, at least, let's just take a look at this. We've got, a high here with a little pullback, a high here with a little pullback, a high here had a little pullback. But we've had this move up, and take a look at the green wave. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom in here really quickly. Take a look at the green wave on the hourly, right? So it's getting ready to cross up. If we close the hourly up here, well, first off, we're above the Bollinger Bands on the hourly. So things look pretty bullish. We're not getting a significant rejection either. Even if I go down to, say, a 3-minute time frame, we had this push up, likely on decent volume. Let's just check that. So what did the volume look like? All right, look at the daily. Actually, I don't even really need to do a whole lot here. Look at the daily volume, all right, and just notice what's going on. I'm going to outline this. So notice that we had, excuse me, decreasing volume on the daily for both buying and selling. But notice what has happened, right? So we've got this apex that has sort of hit and kicked in. And as you get near the apex, look and see what has happened. We have basically seen volume increase significantly on the buy side, and we've got very little selling on the sell side currently. This is an indication that there is potentially more fuel in the tank, right? So if there's more fuel in the tank, let's just go ahead and pull up the old school volume indicator. So let's just go ahead and throw that on here. I'm going to get the volume because what I want to focus on is not necessarily the volume, but what I want to look at is the average volume. What kind of volume do we have compared to the average? Okay, so let's just take a look at this. Right here, let me pull up my data window. That's this guy right here. So let's just take a look again at the volume, all right? So the volume, and you can see this on your screen, it's right over here. The average volume right now is 1,459. The current volume for the day, which, by the way, still has hours and hours and hours to go, is more than double that. That is an indication that whatever direction that we're in, those people are who are in control right now, right? In order to buy something, somebody has to be willing to sell it. So people are selling, right? Whether it be taking profit or opening new short positions, people are selling, right? The market is liquid. But the price is moving up, and the price is moving up on increased volume. The other thing that I also want to point out is the fact that we were in a significant squeeze right here. And this is the first candle that has exited the squeeze completely. You can see we started to enter the squeeze right here. It was red. Then it started turning orange. It was orange for days, and it was moving up. Then we had an indication that we have a movement out of the high tension squeeze and moving into a series of expansion. And we also expanded more yesterday when we started to test these levels up here. And now here we are. We have a 4.5% move on Bitcoin just today after having a 2.77% move on Bitcoin yesterday. So now that we're here, If you're interested in shorting, guys, you need to wait for a rejection. Now, certainly, I'm not going to change my thesis that this is potentially a wave 4, which means a wave 5 is going to be coming next, right? So if this is in fact an ending diagonal, we should have a 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And if you take a look at the structure that we've got going on here, we do have a series of 3s, which I'm going to just go ahead and mark here as ABC. So we have ABC, A, B, ABC. So we've got an ABC there. And then from here, we have a nice little ABC, ABC, and then we've got this wave structure down here to complete that wave 3. And then from here, we've got a nice move here, A, B, and then again, this could extend up a little higher, right? Just because there's a trend line here doesn't mean that it has to stop, which is one of the reasons why I'm saying if you're shorting, you got to be careful. Now, we are at resistance, and I was talking about this level also based off of all of these lows that we were creating here. This is the first time we have tested those lows, right? One could say that what we had back here would have been a test of that, but I think this is a better test, right? So, we've come a little higher. We're here at the downtrend line. And this is, in my opinion, this is like the make or break. Are we going to push up and out? If we do, and we sustain prices up here for some time, and specifically if we get past this 100 and we actually do come all the way up here, well, on a move up to 21,000, right? Which sounds crazy right now for a lot of you. I would still say that on a move down, I would be willing to buy that retest for a continuation to the upside. But that is going to be our bull case scenario. So that's the bull case, right? What's the bear case? Well, the bear case is, let me just go ahead and compress that. The bear case is from here we reject. And it is possible that we do go up a little bit more, but we're going to be looking for a move back down here to equilibrium and then a push up. And then we're going to take a look at a potential for a nosedive down. And that is going to be our bear case. So both of these are valid. This, again, kind of going into right around Valentine's Day or so would make a whole lot of sense. There's going to be a turning point once we get to the beginning of February, or maybe closer to the middle of February. There is going to be a turning point here. So really the bigger question is this trend line going to get rejected? But again, I wouldn't be interested in taking short positions on Bitcoin until some of these important levels get taken out, right? And so for right now, I would say some of the important levels that are really, we should really pay attention to is one is going to be right at the daily open, right, which does coincide with this level back here. We need to take this level out, which is going to be at about 17,950. If we get below 18,000, which we're at 18,784 right now. If we get back below 17,950 and we sustain prices below there for more than, say, a couple hours, then I think it might be okay to take shorts. But for right now, I'm not seeing any significant signs of bearish divergence on the daily, right? So you can see we have a high here, right? We have a higher high on the price, but the daily indicator is actually higher, okay? If I go to higher time frames, go to a 3-day. What does the 3-day look like? Well, on the 3-day, let's just take a look at this. This high right here is all the way down here. We have a new high right here, and it is higher. This high right here is, pretty significant peak. But we have a lower high, but we also have a lower high on the indicator. So we need to see signs of some kind of divergence in order to consider a trade, at least a trade short. I would be interested in just looking for longs and, being cautious with those. But let's watch and wait to see what happens up here in this area. And then we'll make that determination. But for right now, I mean, if you're going to go long here, you're chasing. I think your risk is to the downside. And I think the reward, we're kind of getting to the point of diminishing returns, at least short term, after we've had a significant move on Bitcoin, right? You can all agree that this move right here does look significant. But again, if we can get back up above this trend line, right, following this green path, then that would give more inclination that on a pullback, we're going to go up to the 2618. And that 2618 is all the way up here at about 25,524. But I mean, a lot has to happen before that, right? I would need to see a move up here into the 21,000 area, catch the pullback, then take that move higher. And again, going up to about 25,000. So for right now, we're at an area that we should see some resistance. We're at an area where the daily is overbought. Taking a look at lower time frames, you know, this 4 hour, it's overbought, right? But some of the really high time frames, like we can see here with the red, the yellow, and the white, they're still pretty low and they're kind of moving up. So I guess we really need to watch and be careful. That's all that I've got on Bitcoin right now. I actually did go a little bit longer than I wanted to. What I'd like to do on the Discord here a little bit later is take a look at Bitcoin dominance. I want to take a look at Ethereum dominance. I want to take a look at Tether's dominance, because those are also going to be key indications as to where money is rotating to. You know, I've been playing a lot of alts here lately, and we've been doing pretty well, I would say. So we'll be kind of analyzing those, seeing where the market will go. All right, guys. Hey, if this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, share. If you need access to our Discord, you can find all that information on BitDoctor.org. We just launched a new education series, so if you're interested in that, you can also find information on how to join our Discord on BitDoctor.org. And last but not least, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and a good evening. Take care, everyone.